Bosses everywhere are looking for people with AI skills to automate internal processes. When I'm consulting, I usually ask, do you have anyone that's technical on your team that could do AI automation? And usually they don't mention anyone. So today I'm going to show you how to be the one that stands out. We're going to do it by building an AI agent that almost every business needs. We'll do it in make.com. You could do it in N8N. You could do it in Zapier, LangChain, or any other automation tool. So just copy this framework here, then tweak it to your company's exact steps and be the one that your boss mentions to me next time. Every company gets dozens of monthly bills, and these bills come in tons of different formats, usually PDF. Most companies need to extract the data from these bills and then push them into accounting, to finance, or some other department. I'm going to show you how to build an AI automation that pulls the key data from each bill and puts it into a Google Sheet. Of course, you could just as easily create a QuickBooks invoice or email the summary to your boss. This concept applies not just to monthly bills, but also to things like incoming shipments if you're in a warehouse context, or even parsing medical documents if you're in a law firm. Our agent's goal today is to be able to take the data from a random invoice or bill like the one we have on the screen, and we want to be able to upload that into a folder on Google Drive. And then we want it to extract everything so that we have a date, a description, an amount, and then a clickable link that your boss or whoever is receiving this can just click on and immediately go to the file in Google Drive and check it and make sure that what you extracted is correct. This is a very simple agent, and in fact, it would be simpler if I used a paid PDF conversion service, but I'm using all free tools today, so you can thank me for that later. But we start with Google Drive. And so we have this watch. It's got a trigger that we would turn this on to watch maybe every 5 minutes, every 15 minutes, something like that. And what it does is it watches the files in the folder. You will have to create a Google Drive connection, which you can follow the instructions in make.com to do that. And you want to watch the files by created time. We only want one at a time. When something drops into the uploads folder that hasn't been there before, and then it runs on its timer every 15 minutes in this case, then it will find it. What it does is it downloads the file. So it finds that it's there, but you actually have to download the file that it found. Then we push it into Cloud Convert. Cloud Convert, we're going to say, okay, we want to upload a file into Cloud Convert. So we're downloading it from Google Drive, and then we're uploading it. We're using the one that came out of Google Drive right here. And then we say, I want to input a PDF, and I want to get it out as text because I just want to pull all the text out. This won't work, of course, if you have a PDF that's just a picture of something. You can do that, but you're going to need to use an OCR process that would come from like a ChatGPT or something like that. And then I'm going to give it a file name, the name of the original file, and then underscore extracted.txt. And I don't need to download it in this case. Once this gets done, what I have to do is I have to pull, this is going to convert it, but you can imagine after it converts, that file is somewhere and it's not in make.com. So I have to pull it into make.com. So I use this HTTP get a file, and we're going to go over here and grab temporary URL. So Cloud Convert, it has a job ID, a file name for what it did, and then it has this temporary URL that we can grab it and pull it down into our system. Once we have that, we then can open up this connection with ChatGPT. You can use Grok here. You can use any large language model service that you want. And what we're doing now is we have this get a file, and we're saying, hey, let's grab the data. And look, we've already run this once and before I recorded the video, and so it already has an example of the data that is in here. So we're grabbing data, and we're saying, hey, parse this data out. This right here, this transform text to structured data, is an incredibly useful tool inside of make.com anytime you're working with something like ChatGPT, where it allows you to take a blob of text and transform it into something meaningful that you can use later to stick it into the exact right place in Google Sheets, for example. If this video is helping you, could you take just a moment and hit like? That will help me get the video to more people. If you are wanting to see more content like this, would you take another moment and click subscribe? And I will do my absolute best to get you content that is going to make you a hero in AI agents and automation. So we have to give it a prompt. And we say extract the billing details from the provided text in the particular date, blah, blah, blah. And then this is the key here is we give it some structured data. So we say we want it to come out as date. And if you look over here, we've got date, description, amount, and then a reference file name. So this is what we're doing. We're saying we want a date. We give it a little bit of description so it can guess more correctly. We say it's going to be text. Then we want a description, and then we want a total amount. So we want the total amount of the invoice, and that's it. We want that one as a number. Once we have that, the last piece is just to shove it right into Google Sheets. And this is the one that we have open here. And we want to say, listen, date, description, amount are those. And then we're going to create a hyperlink that has the web view link. You see that comes out of Google Drive that's flashing right now. And then a name. Now we come to the moment of truth. We have this uploads folder and we want to drag an invoice into it. And then we're going to run this through the automation and see if we can populate these fields in the Google Sheet. So here's our invoice. It's got a summary, it's got a date on the top, it's got a total due, all of this stuff. And so now we will go and run this in make.com. We click run, and then it pulls from the Google Drive, and then it downloads the folder. And each of these is telling us the progress, so we can look at the logs, we can see how it's going. Then it hits Cloud Convert. That takes a moment. There it goes, finish Cloud Convert. Then it goes to this HTTP, which gets the file. That pushes up into OpenAI. And you can follow this the whole way, looking in here. So we can see like text to parse. That has the information that came out of it. That then pushed it into Google Sheets. And when we go into Google Sheets, we've got the date, we've got a description, we have an amount, which all of these are correct. And then we have a reference file name, and it even gives us a preview of the invoice itself. And we could click into that. If you're the boss, you can go straight in there and see what the invoice was and double check it if you want to. This process of extracting text from a document and feeding it into a large language model to get it back in a structure that will fit into the next process, whether that's a spreadsheet or something else, is the bread and butter of many AI automations. I'm telling you, figure this out. Get permission to try out an automation and then blow your boss away.